You and me, everything that we've been through has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the way. Not looking for no heaven or gold, 'cause I got you, I got you. Don't wanna show us off, but you're my all that I need. Trying to sugarcoat, but I'm flying so high. I don't even know if I'm coming down. You rock my boat when you hold me so tight. The world just disappears in front of my eyes. I'm telling you why, this ain't no madness. The smoke in the mirrors, our memories now the sun's come down. Like a river rising way up above. This ain't no sugar. I'll stay in bed, I still got the feeling that you're next to me. Stuck in my head when lights go off. You're everything that I could ever want. Your touch so soft. Not looking for no heaven or gold, 'cause I got you, I got you. Don't wanna show us off, but you're my all that I need. Trying to sugarcoat, but I'm flying so high. I don't even know if I'm coming down. You rock my boat when you hold me so tight. The world just disappears in front of my eyes. I'm telling you why, this ain't no madness. The smoke in the mirrors, our memories now the sun has come down. Like a river rising way up above. This ain't no sugar.
You're a rebel, getting into trouble. You are kinda like a fire, like a fire, like a fire. Unpredictable, so original. You are never backing down, backing down, backing down. That's what I like about you. So dangerous, I get this rush when I'm with you. I go all in to lose or win. Build things up to knock 'em down. It's the way we keep our high, moving like a hurricane. There will come a time for when we can wash away your sins, settle down, but until then, we're like a hurricane. You're so different, kind of ignorant. You don't care what people say, people say, people say. I'm going crazy for you, baby. Don't know how you're making me feel this way. What can I say? That's what I like about you. So dangerous.
What's up, guys? Shawn here. Welcome to Tuesday Night Studio Sessions. My name is Shawn, and this is my show. If you're new here, click on the subscribe button so you can come to later renditions of Shawn Ide Studios. If you're old here, welcome. Welcome back. So it's Tuesday Night Studio Sessions, and this is the pre-show. What we do in the pre-show is we just kind of hang out. We make sure that the audio's working. We make sure that there's no like fan noise, because I got a fan under my desk just kind of pointing at my legs. And so yeah. How's everybody doing tonight? I see in the chat we got Brent Newman and we got Nacho. But there's 7 people in here. But only 2 people have talked. Nacho said, I'm here, no worries. Brent Newman said, the Ide 360, Mavic 360 drone, that was your idea. Your procrastination is coming true. Oh, what? That's a big word. Newman, you can't use big words in the chat. I'm in my 40s. I can't read that big word. Prognostication. Daggum. That's the word of the day. I can't even remember what I just said. Prognostication. Brent Newman uses big words. So yeah. I look red. Am I red? I feel like I'm red. I look red. I'm not liking that. Let's figure that out. Yeah. We're live, people. If I could find my knob. Alright. So we're going to turn that up. Turn this to like a white light. There, I think that's a little bit better. Sweet. Nacho said, I plan to do a load of training videos live so people can see it's not always easy. Very good. Yeah, it's not easy. I have definitely... It's taken me 3 years to get to this point. The last year has been like live streaming once a week. And we talked about last week, New Year's resolutions. My resolution this year is to do 1 video and 1 live per week. I was very consistent last year at doing live streams, but there were weeks that I wouldn't put a video out because I was too busy with life. So I'm going to try to figure out how to do some easy videos and then some more complicated videos. Like some of the videos where I just test something are super easy because I just let the camera roll and I cut out all the times that I mess up. Those are easy videos to make for you guys. But the videos that are hard, like today's teaser video for this live stream, was stupid. I spent so much time. I'm sitting there at work and I've got it set up on my laptop at work so I can go to lunch, and then I have like 15 minutes left of my lunch break to like knock out a trailer video for you guys and then put it up. But man, it probably took 5 minutes to render, and then once I put it into Final Cut Pro, because it locked the GPS, like I kept just kind of going all around the planet. So anyway, that was not the best idea for a trailer video, but it was kind of fun. So who else we have in here? Drone Effects with Claude is new. Claude, you haven't been new for a long time. Let's everybody give congratulations to Drone Effects with Claude. I want you guys to give him some support. He got 1,000 subscribers this week, or last week. I guess it was probably the weekend. Was that right? Like maybe Saturday? So Drone Effects with Claude is now monetized. So if you guys get a chance, go over and watch some of his chats. He's actually the pro at live streaming. That's about all he does on his channel. And he invites people in, and they just kind of have like a quorum, and So if you guys can go over to Drone Effects with Claude, at least subscribe to him, and then you'll know whenever he live streams, and then give him a super chat or something. He's a great guy. Steve Miller, welcome. Night Train FPV, welcome. I feel like I'm not red anymore. Did I fix the color balance? I hope I did. So I'm thinking about redoing my background, and I've got my Mac on back there. So I'm thinking about, I didn't have time. I started to move it to the side of my desk, but because there's like 3 USB hard drives in the way, I started like corrupting my files. So I couldn't move it over, but the plan is to kind of push my computer like over here in this section, and then maybe have like subscriber counts or something on that screen. But it's just going to be kind of something in the background to look, you know, just kind of techie or different. I'm liking the hue lights, and I'm liking the uplight. So I think all that's looking pretty good. But you guys are chatting up a storm, so I'm not gonna catch up. Okay. Nacho said I'm a touch warm. Am I a touch warm now, or is that like an hour ago? Drone Effects with Claude says, what, you're not saying hello? I gave you a huge plug, so we're good there. Brett Newman said, so the Insta360R drone version is a whole separate thing. Is it even called the R? Yes. We'll get into that a little bit later. I'll show you the 3 different versions. But yeah, so I bought 2 versions thinking I was getting everything, and then I was just going to buy the bracket to go on a drone. But there's like a 3rd version that is different for the Mavic drone. But since the who came out with it first? Was it Polaroid? Coolpix? They're like 3 years ago they came out with a 360 camera that was in 2 parts. One went on the bottom, one went on the top, and then they had a bracket that went with the 3DR drones. So this is Insta360's version of that. But Insta360, so the problem with the Coolpix cameras was they didn't have any stabilization. And you could fix it in post, but it would take days to fix it in post because it would analyze every frame, and 360 videos, you know, 3 times the size of a regular video. So it has to analyze the whole sphere and go from frame to frame, and kind of just, it was before they put accelerometers and cameras and stuff like that. But Insta360 has got stabilization down. They've had stabilization down. I mean, they kind of had it close in this camera. This is the Insta360 One, and this is the camera that I dropped off of a Phantom 4 and then sent it to Nacho, and then he drove it back to me. So this camera's gone all over the world, sorta. But this camera had decent stabilization, but it was the Rilo came out right after this that killed this camera. And then this camera, I need to take this out of its sleeve. This camera, the Insta360 One X, is just about perfect. Okay? It's got great stabilization. It's thin, like the Ricos. It has a screen on it. It's not a touch screen. You can't really frame your shot. But you don't really need to frame your shot in 360. And, I mean, this one has replaceable batteries. The only thing that this thing was missing was replaceable lenses. So this is a one, this is a one, and now they came out with the Insta360 One R. So let me catch up. So yeah, so Brett Newman, I got the twin set, which has the 360 module and the 4K kind of GoPro module. But in the footage of the aerial kit, the 3D module splits apart and then sandwiches the drone. So I don't have that, but I will get that soon. I've got to sell a drone so that I can buy the drone that it works with, and then there's a couple moving around things. I'm going to sell my Segway because I got the bike, and so there's a couple things that I'm doing this year that I'm swapping things around. So I'm going to have a big sale, sell a whole bunch of stuff that I haven't talked about for over a year, and then use all that money to bring the channel into the 2020, the year of vision, of perfect vision for Shawn Ide Studios. Technology, we're just going to rock it out this year. I definitely want to hit it hard. We're probably a week or two away from 5,000 subscribers, so I'm just going to hit the ground running and hope you guys can catch up. No, just kidding. But I am planning on organizing my channel a lot more this year. So, whoa, you guys are off the screen already. I have just been talking and ignoring you guys. Oh wait, no you're not. Steve Miller said hello. Nacho said he loves your brand. Okay, so we're past that. Good evening. So you guys are talking to each other. Nacho said when it comes out for the Mavic, I will consider it. Pretty sure they're not going to do anything for the Mavic. That drone's like 3 years old now. Isn't that crazy? Brett Newman said, hey there, Drone Effects with Claude. Nacho said, but Insta has a habit of over-promising. They do have a habit of over-promising. That's why I'm not in a hurry to get the drone kit. But I will say, I'm so glad that Skydio 2 had a failure to launch. No pun, well, super pun intended. I pre-ordered the Skydio 2 on October 2nd. Okay? That was when they sent me an email confirming that I had pre-ordered it. And then in November, they said, you know, they're starting to send Skydio 2s out. So I was like, oh, yeah. Like, I pre-ordered on the first day. Maybe like it was that night. So you guys heard about it that morning. And then you told me about it. And then I ordered it that night. And all these people that have bigger YouTube channels than me were getting their Skydio 2s. Then there were people that didn't order till December were getting their Skydio 2s. Then I found out that they had no organization. They lost a bunch of orders. So there was like all this controversy over the Skydio 2, like just bad execution. Then there was this drone that like is supposed to fly itself. For one thing, that scares the crap out of me, especially with FAA regulations and flying line of sight. And, you know, if you have to fly line of sight, then how legal is it for a drone to fly behind you while you're like rollerblading down the sidewalk? And you're not supposed to fly over, like, it doesn't have all the rules in it. So it can't know if it's flying over people or not, or it can't know if it's flying over moving cars, or, you know, all the rules that you're supposed to follow when you're flying a drone are just like out of the, you're supposed to have full control over the drone at all times. So I was leery getting the Skydio just because of that, because I kind of don't want to do things illegal. But then like, and then I started watching a bunch of videos where the Skydio would just, if it can't find its way through things, it'll just stop. I got drones that do that now. My Mavic Air, my Mavic Pro from back in the day, my Unique Typhoon H, they'll go to walls and just stop. So we got that down. So, and then I saw like 3 people crash their Skydios. So Skydio is giving people, it's making people more bold, and they're taking risks because their technology is supposed to not fail. And I saw people wrecking them into bridges. I saw people hitting power lines, like all the things you're supposed to stay away from. And if you're like a smart drone flyer, you know not to go near a power line. But the Skydio's like, if there's a power line there, I don't know if it's there or not. If I see it, I'll stop or go around it. But if I don't see it, and then you can't fly it, like it needs like good lighting to fly. All that kind of stuff is like, so I'm kind of glad that I never got one, because I was able to cancel my order, and last night I got my refund for my pre-order. So I got $100 back. So all of it worked out, and we are going to go with the Insta360 because I trust the Insta360. I am going on, so I have this camera, the Insta360 One. I have the Insta360 One X. I also have the Insta360 Evo, which I have no idea where it is. And the Insta360 One R. That'll be my 4th Insta360 camera. So I trust that company. They have done a knockout job making cameras. Every time a camera comes out, it's better. And they're innovative, and they're pushing the line of creativity, and they're not copying other people. Like they're getting ideas from other people, but they're legitimately coming out with creative camera solutions, and they're pushing the envelope every time they come out with a camera. So I love Insta360. If Insta360, if you're listening, if you want to sponsor me, I will just do Insta360 videos. That's how much I love you guys. If you guys want to give me a Titan, I will go out on every street in Nashville and I will record 360 video and put it up in 8K and all that. So there it is. Britt Newman, good evening to people. Nacho. Okay. I gotta catch up. You guys said things like 10 minutes ago that, so old as crap is probably the Mavic. He won't take my support. I'm still blocked. Oh gosh. Ronald Lockwood. Ronald Lockwood, what's up? I'm good. I hope you're doing well. Drone Effects with Claude said my color's good. I noticed if I move up or something, I think when I put my arm up here, like I go red. And then when I put it down. So my plan tonight was to make the background cool and me warm up here. So that's, hopefully that's working out. Nacho said, hey Ron. Brent Newman said, you now look less satiny. Satan-y? You call me Satan? No, I'm just kidding. Steven Drones, what's up? So we got 9 viewers in here. That's good. And I moved my ring light, so now my clock is blocked. But it's 7 o'clock. Hey Ron. I gotta catch up. I gotta just stop talking and read your guys' comments. I feel like I'm ignoring you guys, and I'm just saying what I want to say on my show. Nacho says, cooking, sorry for the slow replies. Yeah, you're slow to reply. You've got like, Nacho is like overloading us with comments. Hey Brent Newman, hey Nacho. Band as in Steve Miller Band. Oh, I get it. That's funny. I'm so behind. Yep, Nacho called it. And I spent about 900 today. Yep. And I didn't get it, and I didn't have enough to get the one thing that I really wanted to get from the beginning. But I feel like I have to have the 360 camera. I have to have the basics of the Insta360 One R. So the aerial kit will come, but it'll just be something later. I don't know when I will be one of the people that puts out the first video on YouTube about something. I realize that I'm still the guy that gets it like a week later, and then like 30 people have put videos out, and then my videos are kind of pointless at that time. So I have to like come up with interesting ways to look at the camera that I'm reviewing, because I wasn't part of the club. that gets it. Like 360 guy has had that camera for a month now. He's known all about it. He's had it. He's taken footage with it. So anyway, we'll get there. I did get, just so you guys know, those of you that follow my channel, I did get a message from Gear Best, and they want to sponsor me on YouTube. So I might be getting some like, you know, some techie things like watches and maybe some like cell phones to try out and stuff like that. So we'll see what that's like. So Ronald Lockwood's here. Manic Magic is here. What's up? All right, so Skynet, hello Trevor. Mike B, what's up? Good evening. So excited you guys are here tonight. Welcome to 2020. This is the first live stream in 2020, right? So my last live stream was New Year's Eve. So this is the first live chat. I told you guys I was going to change my logo, and I haven't done it on my live chat yet. I just noticed. But if you guys look at my latest ObsBot video, I basically took all the grays out of my logo, and I made the S a little bit bigger. I wanted to simplify the logo, but still keep its presence. So that's what I did. It'll be easier to put on stickers and put on t-shirts and stuff like that. It'll make it a solid color, like a one color, that'll work, and all that kind of stuff. So that's something I did there. Nacho's bitter, so he's not going to give Insta any of his money. I also plan not to mention my gear in my videos unless asked. No more free promotions. Nice. Brent Newman says, you could be the first to try to chop up the Insta360R with unique propellers. Awesome. Yep, that'll be a first. I'm probably about the only one that still has a unique drone that he puts other cameras on. I don't see any of those videos. So Trevor's Manic Magic says he loves my content. I really appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Nacho said he likes my ObsBot, and he would buy a shirt. All right. Good to know. There's a link in the description of this video where you can buy a shirt if you would like to. I've had merch for a while, and I've never sold a piece. I haven't even bought a piece. But I thought about creating a board, because just so you guys know, I'm a graphic designer, and I've been a graphic designer for over 20 years. So if you guys have ideas of things that you would want on a t-shirt, but you don't have the skills to design a t-shirt, feel free to give me your ideas and I'll make a t-shirt. We can even have, if you want to, we can have a contest, and you got like whoever has the best idea gets a shirt on my, like I'll design a shirt, put it in my store, and then I'll buy one for you and send it to you. If you want to do that, I think that would be pretty cool. I'd like to start making shirts. I don't want to straight like copy someone else's shirt. I accidentally copied a shirt. I made the first one that I made. I was like, this is going to be a great idea. It's going to be like a skull and crossbones. So I did like a drone. It was like a Phantom 4 was the crossbones, and then I put a skull on the front of it, and I called it Drone Bones. And I'd never been to Shawn Ide's YouTube channel, and like not a week later, Shawn Ide showed up on my feed, and I was like, oh, I'll check his video out. And his logo is literally the t-shirt that I thought up. So I I know like just about any idea has probably been thought about somewhere else. So anyway, that's a thought. Brent Newman said $30 is pretty steep. I know. If I, you know, I get that. But like getting it through Spreadshirt or whoever I have it through, I don't even remember who I got it through. They're pretty expensive to start with. Like I didn't choose the prices. I just uploaded designs and made it available. So what are you guys up to tonight? Is anybody going to get the Insta360 One R? I feel like I'm probably more interested in it than a lot of my subscribers. I know a lot of my subscribers came from GoPro Max. So GoPro and DJI and Insta360 are three of the companies that I've done a lot of product reviews for. So just curious if any of you guys are planning on getting the Insta360 One R. I know Brent Newman just got a Insta360 got an Insta360 One X. So that's awesome. But I think the whole modular thing is a really good idea. I think I mean, I've had that idea in the past. And even the way I design is modular nowadays, like with CSS components and HTML. The way I do things at work, I like building something and then adding upgrades, just like a video game. Like, here's a sword, and then I added the power of magic to it, or I don't know. I think that's really cool. So to have like a controller, kind of like a motherboard. So like you've got the battery pack, and then you've got the controller that has the screen, and then that controller with the screen can work with the 360 mod. It can work with the 1-inch mod. It can work with the aerial kit. And they're also coming out with a 3D mod later on this year. I think it's in March. But it's 7:10. We've got a lot of people in here, but the chat has slowed down a little bit because everybody has said hi to everybody, and they've talked to me about how my color is. What do you guys think about the computer screen in the background? Is that cool? I think if I move it over there, I think it'll be pretty cool. It just says please stand by. I just threw a graphic up there, but Nacho said he bought a shirt. Cool. Brent Newman said, yeah, if the new Insta-Drone 360 thing is worthy, I'd sell my 1X first. But with the forthcoming remote ID, all our existing drones will be bricks, so yep. Yeah, but the remote ID thing isn't going to happen for 3 years. I was watching Ken Heron's video. It was either Ken Heron's video or 51 Drones, but from what I understand, it's going to take 3 years for that to become law. So by that time, hopefully I'll be making enough money on YouTube to buy whatever drone I need to at that point. That's the plan. And hopefully Brent, you'll have made enough money on photography to upgrade your drone. I feel like DJI has to make like a remote ID kit. Especially with the Inspires and the Phantoms. Of course, they've been known to just kind of, I mean, DJI has a history of making their own drones a little obsolete. Like the Phantom 3 is kind of pointless now. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I have a feeling it'll be something like the FPV kit that DJI came out with. Like it'll be a kit that you attach to your drone that already exists. It could even be as easy as adding it to the battery. So if you attached a remote ID kit to a battery and then made a battery upgrade, so you would lose like 5 minutes of flight time so that they could make the battery a little bit smaller and put the remote ID kit in it, and then it would fit on whatever DJI drone you had. That would be awesome. Unique drones can carry payloads, and they're very commercial driven. So if remote ID becomes a thing, commercial ID or commercial is going to require that anyway. So they'll probably just put it up like slap something on the Unique drones. Nacho said, I like the screen with the rear light. I like it too. It's kind of like, I just need to move it over so I'm not like crowding it. I can't. I can go here, but now I'm like way off centered. But I think if I move it over a little bit, I think it'll be cool. I just had, there was like a last minute thought, and it was so last minute that I couldn't do it properly without unplugging a bunch of cords and stuff. And it's on the edge of the desk, so I actually have to move my desk physically over for that to work out. But I think it'll be cool, especially since everything's just kind of black from here down. I think it'll be cool, and it'll look like kind of techie, but it's not going to be like overpowered, and I can put different things on there, that screen, things I'm talking about. So I think it'll be good. I'm going to get rid of the Yeti caster that's over here. It's just kind of pointless. The Yeti caster isn't balanced very well, so I'm probably going to take it off of the Yeti caster and just put it on a regular mic stand and rock that out. Brent Newman said, I like the computer screen and the gray background. Cool. Good to know. Brent Newman, how is your background coming? You sent me a video maybe a month ago, and you were like playing around with your setup. Just curious where that went. Brent Newman said, true, it'll probably be a while before remote ID happens. Nacho Rolling said, I would bring the camera closer to the back wall, cutting out the hues so you don't see the shelves, but just the light from them. Okay. I wanted to make the shelves as part of the background, kind of like almost like a stage, but that's a good point. We'll try that. Brent Newman said, 4 years ago, I still had the Phantom 2. Who knows what will happen in the Droniverse in 4 years? I know, right? So my channel is coming up on 3 years. So in July, my YouTube channel will be 3 years old. And I had the Phantom 3 standard. I got that, I believe I got that for Christmas the year before. So like 2016, maybe? Christmas of 2016. Okay. Brent's Explorations. What's up? Welcome to the chat. So is Nunley here? If Nunley's here, then we'll get like 3, or is that Nunley? Brent's Exploration said, exciting day today tech-wise. Good to have you grilling, Brent. Nachos said I'm black where it counts. You talking about my voice? Ooh, Brent's grilling salmon tonight. So I see Yup in here twice. Brent Six Explorations. If you're Brent Nunley, say I am Brent Nunley. Because I don't know what you're saying Yup to. Newman said, Brent's Explorations, we need to put locks on your wallets. Yep, I still fly the Phantom 3 Pro. Nice. Brent Newman said, I flew the drones that were in my background, so they're no longer there. Need to set them back up. Yeah, I took the unique Typhoon H Plus down because I was like, if I make that my background, then I'll never fly it. I still haven't flown it, but because it's winter and it's rainy all the time and super windy. Oh my gosh. It was so windy today. Why the heck did I do a video outside? It was crazy. But, okay, so Brent's Explorations is Brent Nunley. Okay, good. Excuse me. Got a little tickle. All right, so it's 7:20. I want to talk about what I told you guys I was going to talk about, just so that we're good there. So, Steve, every week Steve's like, "Fly your dang drone." I'll fly it. I'm actually probably going to sell one of them. Not sure which one I'm going to sell yet. I doubt I can get 600 out of the unique Typhoon H, but if I can get 600 out of it, that's the one I'm going to sell. But I might be going back to DJI as my weekly driver. I love the H Plus, but I spent way too much money on it for it to just be sitting there. And I have no need to fly a drone that big fast. I like the power of it, and so, you know, I might use it as a payload carrier, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, so we are going to go full screen. Steve said keep the plus. All right. So we're going to go full screen over here. How y'all doing? And then we are going to switch over to a black screen. Why is that a black screen? There we go. Ha! Oh, come on. Okay, now stay. All right, so we're going to go over. Can you guys still hear me? Check, check. 1, 2, 3. Fishing for success. What's up? Why did I stop making the Canon camcorder 4K reviews? I don't know. I can make some more if you'd like. Both cameras that I have are they're kind of not new cameras anymore. So, but let me know what you want me to make a video about, and I'll make a video about it. I've been using them, so I haven't really made any reviews on anything new about them because I feel like I kind of did everything that I needed to do on it. But yeah, I'll do some more Canon videos. I love my Canon camcorders. They're awesome. So this is what we're going to talk about tonight. Well, let's talk about this one first. All right, so this is the first one that I bought today. This is the Insta360 One Twin Edition. All right, and if you just watch this little animation real quick, the red section on the bottom is like a battery pack, okay? And then the block with the screen on it that has the logo, that's the controller. So that has the touch screen. Pretty sure that's where the SD card goes and all that stuff. Then you've got a lens module on the other side. Now the Twin Edition comes with basically a GoPro lens and a 360 lens. So dual lens is I think what they call it. Yeah, dual lens, and then a 4K wide angle edition. Okay? So basically this is kind of the best of both worlds. What's cool about this, and if you watch this animation, since everything is modular, you can put the screen on whatever side you want it on. Okay? So if you think of like the DJI Osmo Action, it has a small screen on the front and a big screen on the back. Now this one's not going to have a screen on both sides, but you hardly ever need a screen on the front and the back. Okay? And if you want a screen on, if you want to take video from the front and the back, you can use the dual lens. But basically what this does is it turns it into a GoPro, or an Osmo Action, or an Insta360 One X. Okay? So this is basically 3 cameras in one. All right? These are the specs. You've got 5.7K 360 capture. You've got 4K wide angle capture. Flow state stabilization. So as we know, Insta360's stabilization is rock solid. Okay, and they've even improved it since the last one. And from what I understand, the 360 camera is better quality than the Insta360 One X. From what I heard, that's what 360 guy said. Waterproof. This is the first Insta360 One that is waterproof to 5 meters. 5 meters isn't amazing, but you know, most people are probably going to take it into the swimming pool, or the jacuzzi. So 5 meters is more than enough there. And then they make a dive case that'll go even further. Visible selfie stick. They've had that for a couple years. Auto frame. Now there's a video coming up. Hopefully it's on here. The video of the auto frame is ridiculously cool. It has like a deep auto frame. Well, we'll get to that. Oh no, that's the point to track. I'm not sure what auto frame does. Maybe it recognizes your face and auto frames you in. It's got hyperlapse. We've seen that before. Point to track, so you can point on things, just like the OBSBot that I showed you the other day. You can touch on a person and then it'll track them. Voice control. I still think voice control is just kind of stupid. It's nice to have, but there's a couple things that I want to show you guys tonight this camera has that I think is even better. It's got slow motion. I think like 1080 slow motion is like 200 frames per second. Something ridiculous like that. HDR photo and video, and then night shot. So this one has a night shot, but the next version that I'm going to show you, the 1-inch version, will blow night shot out of the water because it has a 1-inch sensor. So let's check the chat for a second. Fishing for success. As a happy auto Evo flyer, do the new Autel announcements make you want to upgrade? Brent said he's still drooling. All right, so let's go down. So here it is, 2 ways to shoot. So you've seen 360 footage before. It's amazing because you can record everything at once, and then you can flip. You know, you can reframe your shot later. And then the 4K wide angle edition is just like a GoPro, but you know, you've got the rock solid stabilization. And I think what's important about the rock solid stabilization is that it knows where the horizon is. Okay, so let's look at the 4K edition again, and watch the horizon. So that horizon's all messed up. That horizon's not all messed up. So the 4K version is not going to hold the horizon. And I tried to make a video for you guys the other day on my bike, and I put the GoPro on my helmet, and it's been a long time since I've put any camera on my helmet. And the stabilization was great, but I got sick watching the footage because it kind of moves around. So we'll get to the prices in a minute, Trevor. So they have something called Super 5.7K. So if you look at the video on the left, 5.7K, even though it had a large resolution, it didn't have very good quality video. Super 5.7K 360 looks like the details are a lot sharper. So let's read this real quick because I'm curious about this. Details matter. All pixels are not created equal. The dual lens 360 mod raises the bar with Super 5.7K resolution, leveraging it's the H.265 codec, encoding, advanced image processing, and an AI powered finishing algorithm to preserve detail and make your footage pop. So if you guys are familiar with 360 video, a lot of times the video in the middle is very sharp, but then kind of around the edges kind of muddy. So it looks like they've fixed that a little bit. Fishing for success. No, I'm very happy with my 4K 60 frames per second. Unless they come out with something ultra crazy, I'm not upgrading. I've never had any issues with my drone. So fishing for success, you have the Autel Evo? Is that what you guys are talking about? I've never flown an Autel. I think they're cool. I like the orange colors. Orange is a nice color. Alright. So the smoothest, now smoother. So the footage on the left is no stabilization. The footage on the right is stabilization. Check out that horizon lock, guys. That horizon, like, the guy on the bike is just going all over the trail. And that horizontal lock is awesome. Flow state achieves gimbal-like stabilization without a gimbal. Thanks to the new scene detection algorithm, your footage stays clear and steady even in low light. No drone, no problem. Invisible selfie stick. We've seen this before. Unique third-person perspectives with the flick of your wrist while using the dual lens 360 mod. Okay. Oh, it just went black. Bullet time. I'm still not a huge fan of bullet time just because the quality sucks. I don't know if the quality is better now, but if the quality's still like, I mean, it was like 360 video, but it was like 720 360, so it was like just horrible quality. So I'm not a big fan of that. Follow cam on demand, so you can say mark that. So select your subject with a tap or a voice command when shooting in 360. One R's AI-powered tracking algorithm keeps it locked in the center of the frame. Even when obstacles break your line of sight, Deep Track picks up the shot as soon as the subject reappears. So a lot like that ObsBot did the other day. Whenever I drove rode my bike behind the SUV and then it found me again, that's exactly what this is doing. So you see the dog. Nacho loves dogs. You see him say, mark that, and he's like it keeps track of the guy, but this guy goes behind trees and it knows where he's supposed to be. So that's pretty cool. Fishing for success. I lost GPS signal and lost control of my drone in a windy area. My drone miraculously managed to land safely with 4% battery. It dodged power lines, roofs, cars, and landed. Dang. Do you have that? So Fishing for Success, do you have that on your channel? I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Many masterpieces. So check this out, guys. So this is stop motion. And basically what it does, let's go back to stop motion. So it recognizes what position your body's in, and then it snaps a picture every time your body's in that position, so it looks like you're kind of floating down the street. It's kind of cool. This is Jump Planet. Whoa. That's pretty cool. So if you're familiar with DJI drones, they have a quick shots. Insta360 does kind of quick shots too. So apparently this app has a shot lab that lets you make creative edits easily. Continuously updated range of smart templates walk you through the latest 360 camera techniques and automatically master your edit. So that's pretty cool. DJI Osmos do that. They have people like me that are very creative. No, I'm just kidding. But they have like people that come up with cool shots and then they show everybody else how to do it. And that's the whole reason I got the really long selfie stick, like the 10-meter selfie stick. Was it 10 meter? Or was it 3 meters? I think it was 3 meters. I got the 3-meter selfie stick from Insta360. And I got that because of one of their, they did like a ping pong shot where they used the long selfie stick and kind of made it go between 2 ping pong paddles, and it was pretty cool. This is Time Flip. I think this is pretty cool, but that shadow is like completely losing it for me. But I think that's cool. And then this is Roll Planet. Check this one out, guys. We've seen this before, but you had to kind of do it like it took some skill to do this before, and now they have automatic templates for you. Control time and perspective. So check this out, guys. This is just kind of the same way that they did it before, but with the slow motion. It's super cool. And then here's the drone, guys. How ridiculous is that? So I knew it was a Mavic Pro last night, and I'll show you why. Oh, I can't pause it. But so last night, before I got any information about the drone, I was hacking into their website. I would go to the Insta360 One X page, and then I'd go up and I'd change the link, the X in the link to R, and see what I could get. The only thing I got was download, so I knew what kind of app and what kind of firmware it was going to have. But anyway, so Fishing for Success said, I'm currently exporting a project I did with my drone in downtown Raleigh, North Carolina. 3 hours to export. Dang. That's pretty crazy. Alright, 360 video. Reframed in a tap. So if you look at the 4 scenes down here, it's showing you how the power of 360 video now, since it's stabilized and the stitch lines aren't there anymore, like he can look at himself, he can look at the tree, he can look at a dog, and he can look at this pretty girl. Isn't that cool? So doing that from a drone, I think is going to be awesome. So will the Insta360 have a 1-inch sensor? No. But it will be able to shoot 5.7K 360 video. And I pretty much guarantee you that it's going to be rock solid stabilization. And you're not going to have to use any special software to take the drone out. Because they've got the bracket on the DJI Mavic Pro 2 worked out so that the blades aren't in the stitch line. I have a feeling there's going to be some weird, just because I've done this before with several cameras and several different drones. There's going to be some shadows from the blades, like when the sun hits the lens. There's going to be some of those issues, and I'm curious to see what they do with connections, because you've got your Bluetooth, you've got Wi-Fi, and you've got radio signals. You've got all three of those, on different drones. And usually in the past, when I put cameras that are designed to talk to your phone, they end up conflicting with the drone that's supposed to talk to your phone. So I'm curious about that, and I'm also curious about where the GPS sensor is on the Mavic Pro, and whether or not they're going to be covering up the GPS signal. So those are my concerns right now, but we'll see what happens. Pretty sure they worked it out. But so flash cut editing, we've seen this before in GoPros and the Insta360s. Just kind of automatic video editor in the app. Fishing for Success says, what's the big deal with the 1-inch sensor? Let's more light in. Yeah, so anybody off the top of your head, do you know what like a GoPro sensor is? I know like a lot of the cameras that come out have like a 1/2.3 inch sensor. So if you think of basically if you think about a hole, okay? So a hole that's half the, so if you got a 1-inch hole and then you've got a 1/2-inch hole, the 1/2-inch hole lets half the light in as the 1-inch hole. And if you think about your eyes, whenever your iris in low light, your iris actually gets bigger. The first time I ever noticed this is when I had my son Gavin, and I would take him into the dark, and all of a sudden his eyes would get huge, like almost black, like you couldn't see any of the color in his eyes at all. And basically what your eyes do is your pupil, I said iris earlier, didn't I? Your pupil gets bigger. It opens up more to let more light in when it's dark. That's what a 1-inch sensor, that's what you benefit from with a 1-inch sensor. It's a bigger area to capture footage, so you don't have to overclock your processor and overclock, your camera doesn't have to do extra work to manage the footage. So basically what happens on smaller sensor cameras, they do great. Just about every camera does great in bright sunlight. But where you see these cameras start to fall apart is in low light situations. You'll start to see, noisy shots. You'll start to see lights flicker. You'll start to see just some ugly stuff going on in your footage. 1-inch sensor is just a bigger sensor that lets more light in. Notch just said that's f-stop. The sensor is bigger, so it will collect more light for more dynamic range. Yeah, so the sensor captures the information, but the bigger the sensor, the more light it can capture, and the less work your camera has to do. So this has HDR photo and video. So here's the difference. If you guys don't know what HDR means, high dynamic range. Basically, more darks and more lights make for a better composed shot. Actually, I take that back. So on the left, you have less information, and on the right, you have more information. So if you'll notice, on the left, you've got harsh shadows, and you've got the light is very lit. On the right, you have the proper shadows and the proper light, because you get on the higher end of exposure and the lower end of exposure, and you combine all those. And this is low light done right. After dark, turn the night shot to capture photos that stay neutral, clear, and vibrant. Nacho was showing me when he was here to visit. His iPhone had a night shot that was awesome. And this has the same thing going on. So Brent Newman says 1 inch collects more light, important for low light situations, and more information makes better photos. But a 1/2 inch sensor can do very nice video, as you know, with your Evo. Yep. I love having Nacho and Brent in here, just keeping me straight. So this picture, this night shot picture, looks beautiful. And then this is kind of interesting to me. It's star lapse. So I've always wanted to do a star lapse. Star lapse mode automatically adjusts exposure settings to capture brilliant, sweeping time lapses of the night sky. So definitely going to try that out. Crank up the color. Automatically color grade your footage. So Color Plus automatically color grade your footage. Vibrant, bright, and stunning visuals with a single tap. Nice. The video, when it goes all like HDR, that's kind of like over HDR, but still very, very dynamic and very cool. And this shot with the beach and the stones and the clouds and the waves, like, this is a great representation of that. Browns, like, for me, like, trees and rocks were always things that really popped whenever I used to do these HDR photos where you take 3 pictures. It's kind of like, and then after when I got the next camera, I could bracket with it, so I could take 3 pictures, one right after the other, and then bracket my exposure so that I could create an HDR from that. This is kind of what's happened here, but now it's so fast they can do it with video. Super cool. All right. Every angle, every instance. So we've seen this before with 360 cameras. You take one video with you take basically one video of everything, and then you can point your shots later. Oh, and right here it says slow-mo. So 3K 360 video, I don't know how good that is, because a couple years ago we only had 2.8K and it wasn't that good. But slow-mo at a 3K 100 frames per second, or 1080p wide angle footage up to 200 frames per second. So if you're just recording, if you're just making 1080 videos, 200 frames per second is some freaking slow motion. That's pretty awesome. All right. Real-time preview. So this, now we have a screen on our 360 camera, which is awesome. Fishing for Success says Autel Evo doesn't have any of the DJI's geo zones that prohibit flight are implemented around locations such as airports, prisons so I can fly anywhere with no limits. Wow. That's awesome. Fishing for success. The only thing is, don't get caught flying somewhere you're not supposed to. Those rules are there for a reason. So, yeah, it's great if you have a legal ability to fly in those locations. But yeah, I guess it just saves you time if you are registered with the FAA and you have an exemption to fly somewhere. But I wouldn't I actually enjoy the restrictions because then I don't have to think. Because I went to, there was a place that I flew my Parrot Anafi, and I thought I had checked, but I apparently didn't. And then I went back to fly my DJI Mavic Air, and it wouldn't even take off. And I was like, why can't I fly here? And it was because it was a restricted geofenced area. So I kind of just broke the rules before. It was an accident, but all right, fishing for success is one of those guys. It's okay. I would just encourage you to just watch yourself. Sometimes DJI's geofence is inaccurate and keeps us from flying in legal areas. I agree with that, Brent. So yeah, that does suck. But yeah, just watch yourself, man. I'm not, no judgment here, but so let's go back to this. And it's waterproof. The only thing with the Insta360 One R is, since it's modular, you have to have it put together correctly, because it's not waterproof in its own little pieces. It's only waterproof once it's put together. 5 meters, which is 16.4 feet, whether you're poolside or on a rainy day. So that's what I'm excited for, is I can do this on a rainy day. But note, the 1R is waterproof after being fully assembled and installed in the included mounting bracket. So you have to put it in this mounting bracket to seal everything off. Fishing for Success says, I follow the rules, but I like knowing that I have the freedom. I agree with that. One of the things that I struggle with my DJI drones is the object avoidance. Sometimes the object avoidance gets in the way of my shot. Sometimes it overly avoids something, or it won't stop beeping when I take off. Little things like that I struggle with. Nacho Rolling said, the rules you break will ruin it for everyone. All right. So super cool. It's waterproof. It's rough and ready. The 1R is engineered for safe, efficient shock absorption, while the lens guards protect your camera vitals no matter what life throws at it. So hopefully that means that this little lens protector is swappable. That's what I'm hoping. It works with the GPS smart remote for the 1X. So that's cool. It has Apple Watch control, so I can actually hit start and stop and look at my camera's vitals with my Apple Watch. So I'm super excited about that. And it's voice control. So you can say, hey R, shoot that. No, I don't know what you're supposed to say. And then it's got premium audio. I can connect my AirPods to it. So hopefully that means I can connect my Powerbeats Pro. So if I can hook my Powerbeats Pro, which they kind of suck though. Like all the videos that I've done where I've used my Powerbeats Pro as a microphone didn't really sound that great. Nacho said, since I have the Hero 7 and the Max, I won't be buying anything new unless the drone version works great. And then it also has the mic adapter. So this is the other thing that I bought, is this little mic adapter. Basically, it's a USB-C to microphone adapter. But I did buy that. And from the looks of it, it looks like that's the Rode Wireless Go, but they didn't want to pay Rode Wireless. They didn't want to pay Rode for their logo, so it looks like they just kind of scrubbed out the logo. But that also might be a wireless module that they make. I don't know. Trek your track. So if you have the GPS remote, then you can gather all of the GPS, telemetry of your trip. So that's pretty cool. Fishing for Success says, what's the point of the 360 view if you can't even fit the image onto a 16.9 screen? You'd have to scale the image down big time. Are you talking about the screen on the camera, or what's the point of... I think the 360 view is just kind of so what I've used the screen for on my phone whenever I'm framing my shots with 360 is to make sure that the stitch line's okay, make sure that the tripod is hidden, make sure I'm not cutting anybody's face off, little things like that. You can kind of move around and just kind of see your shot first, is what I would use it for. All right, so here's the invisible drone. So check this out, guys. So basically what it does is, since it breaks apart into pieces, you can put the one of the lenses on top of your drone, one of the lenses on the bottom of your drone, and all the other parts of the camera like goes to the side of the drone. So and it all connects together using this bracket. So that's the one that I didn't buy, and I think the only difference is that the two lenses split, as opposed to the one that I bought, the module does not split in half, is what I understand, but I won't know until I actually get it in my hands. But from the videos that I saw of other people, it did not split in half. But you've seen the invisible selfie stick. Now meet the invisible drone. One R's customizable drone mount lets you capture airborne 360 views that hide your drone entirely from sight, adjust your angle in post to get mind-blowing effects that used to only be possible for professional FPV pilots. So, Nacho, I mean, from this footage, and granted, this is their marketing footage, so this might have been polished a lot, but it looks amazing to me. It looks really, really good. They did it at nighttime, which is, we talked about earlier about small sensors not doing a very good job. This does a great job, I think. So hopefully that the bracket will be sold separately, because I don't need another core, I don't need another battery pack, but we'll see what happens. I'm hoping it comes out as a mod, because the 1-inch mod, you can just buy the mod by itself, and that's what I did. Hopefully there'll be like a $200 or $300 just mod. So yeah, there's a boosted battery pack for longer record times, and a dive case. This 3D mount, available in February. 2 cameras are better than one. The 3D mount uses 2 shooters of your choice to capture high-res stereoscopic video. So 2 shooters of our choice. So check it out, guys. So what they've done is they've used 2 4K mods or 2 360 mods. So that's pretty cool. Fishing for Success. Adjust your angle. So basically what they're talking about here is um, it's basically the same thing that I've been showing you with the 360 video. So basically, right now, like if you're using your Autel, your camera just points out the front of your drone, right? So you have to actually turn your drone to point the camera somewhere else. Unless you're using like a hexacopter like the Unique Typhoons, where the camera's on the bottom and you can keep the drone where it's at, and then you can just point your camera where you want it. What this does is it's gonna record everything at once. So if you're like right now, if you're pointing your Autel at a train, but then a bird flew behind your drone, you'd never see that bird that flew behind your drone. But since your drone has recorded everything all at once, you can go back and point the camera wherever you want to in post. You can actually get multiple videos out of your 360 video by pointing forward or pointing backwards or pointing down. You can get all those angles in your 20-minute flight time or 25-minute flight time. So super cool. That's what I've been preaching for years. I feel like this is the future of drones. If they can get the video to look good, because you don't really focus on things when you have your drone. Like the zoom, you can zoom in on some things, but for the most part, it's kind of an infinity focus. You're kind of just recording everything all at once. So super cool. And fishing for success. If you go back and look at, I have a video about it's done with it's in my Paradanafi playlist. There's one where I show you guys how to take a 360-degree picture from the drone, and then in that video, I basically just pan around the 360 picture that I took, and you can see all these different pictures that you can pull out of that one picture that I took in 360. So recording once and then reframing later, I think, is the future. And then there's a rugged lens protection, so that's cool. And then there's a dive case for the dual lens mode, available in February. We will see if those things are available in February. In the past, they've made promises that they didn't keep, so we'll see what happens. Nacho said, may I post a 360 video link? Yes, you can. And then I don't know what this infographic is about. It's just kind of not a big fan of this mess right here. So yeah. Okay, so Trevor, if you're still here, this is what you were asking about. So there's the 4K wide angle edition for $300, $299. So that is basically just like a GoPro. The dual lens 360 edition is $449. So that's like an Insta360. Fishing for success. Is the video quality good? Will it be susceptible to magnetic interference? How's the range? How's the battery life, etc.? Will it smash the competition? So video quality is good, but it is not a drone. It is just a bracket for the DJI Mavic Pro 2. So all of your other specs, the range, battery life, all of that stuff. Magnetic interference. So I don't know if I have a feeling that the bracket will not cause magnetic interference. Most cameras that I've had do not cause magnetic interference. Like the ones that I've put on drones. Usually the problem with putting cameras on a drone that don't go with it is messing up the GPS signal or messing up your Wi-Fi signals. So Nacho said the video is done from the Mavic Pro. How can I show that? I don't know if I can show that. So, I'll show you, Nacho. Right here. So the aerial edition is for the Mavic 2. And that's a picture of the Mavic 2 zoom. Does that make sense? Oh. I don't think that was here this morning. There's a Mavic Pro and a Mavic 2 version. So check that out, Nacho. All you need to do is get the Mavic Pro version because you already have the Mavic Pro. That's pretty sweet. So this is the one that I got. I got the Twin Edition, and I got a dual lens 360 mod. But this one comes with a split lens 360 mod. So that's what I did. All right. And then the other thing that we're going to talk about tonight, this is the 1-inch mod. And I'm really just going to go through the specs here. So 5.3K, 30 frames per second. That's like flat video. Okay, guys? In the past, 5.7K video has been 360 video. This is flat video, guys. So the quality is going to be ridiculous. 4K 60 frames per second, 19 megapixel photos, 1-inch sensor. It has the same stabilization, the same waterproofing. Everything else is the same. Okay. And then Fishing for Success. This is kind of explains the difference between a 1.23 sensor and a 1-inch sensor. You can see how much smaller the 1 over 2/3 the 1 over 2.3 sensor is. It seems like it's half, but it's really a fourth, probably even a little less. Insta360 joins forces with Leica. If you guys don't know who Leica has been a leader. I believe it's in lenses, but they've made cameras forever. I think it's a German company. And if you guys are familiar with the DJI Mavic Pro, the DJI Mavic 2 Pro, that uses a Leica camera. A premium 1-inch sensor, legendary Leica optical design, and stunning dynamic range, all in a rugged, compact body, on the go, captures as never looked this good. So here's the difference between 4K and 5.3K. I don't think you guys are going to see much of a difference on my live stream because my live stream is only in 1080. But exceptionally sharp. This is a shot done with the drone. So when I saw this shot last night, I was like, oh my gosh. When they fly over the hot air balloon, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I think that's so cool. Flow state, stabilization, low light done right. So check out these shots. If you did this with your GoPro, they would fall apart. Okay. All right, let me catch up. It was an Insta360 camera hanging below a Mavic Pro. Fishing said, geez. You can use like that or adjust angles to show it in post. It shoots everything and lets you pick it later. Will you be able to see a difference between 4K and 5.7K if watching on a 4K TV? Yes. Yes, you will. It's basically in the details. So 4K is just a resolution, okay? But 4K can be made up with dense pixels or less dense pixels. So, like my 4K camera will shoot 1080 video, but my 1080 video looks way better than my other camera that shoots 1080 video because it's just recording all of the information and then dumbing it down. Interesting choice of words. Fall apart. Here's a star lapse done with a 1-inch censored camera. I'm actually super excited about doing that. Crank up the color plus, so it's got that same technology. Own the night. So the 1R 1-inch edition uses a premium sensor and a range of software optimizations to capture low light shots that are stunningly detailed and balanced. Check out that picture, guys. That's really, really good. Split second precision. Shoot in 4K 60 frames per second or 1080 120 frames per second to capture dynamic action, dynamic clarity. Light like you see it. So the auto exposure bracketing mode lets you shoot 3, 5, 7, or 9 exposures at once. Holy crap, 9 exposures at once. So what the benefit of that is if you so sometimes it's hard to go back and capture something that you missed. So if you take 9 exposures at once, okay, 9 exposures at once, that is, you know, almost black to almost white, and then all of the different exposures in between there, you know, that's the quality that your eye does. Like, I mean, that was kind of a lie, but your eye has a much more dynamic range than a lot of the cameras we have nowadays. But what that, you know, will allow you to see is it'll allow you to see the shadows. It'll allow you to see the detail in the shadows instead of it just being black. And if you think about like video games back in the day that were made up of 16-bit or 8-bit, they would have to use like halftones to create grays and stuff like that. You know, your cameras and your videos just kind of make it up. All right, Brent, have a good night. Thanks for showing up. We've had a really good chat tonight. It's 8:11. I've gone over. Uh-oh. Waterproof whenever, rough and ready, selfie sticks, editing. Okay, so we're back down to the same stuff that the other one had. Check this out, though, guys. 3D mount. You can have 3D 1-inch sensors. That might be very, very cool. All right, guys. So thanks for hanging out tonight. I hope I didn't bore you with all my Insta360 talk. I know we had a lot of drone discussions in here, and maybe you guys just wanted to hear me talk about drones. But but had a good night. Hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'm in the middle of editing a bicycle video that you guys might like or might not. And I might do just kind of a recap of tonight. So, in a more polished video. But yeah, hope you guys like this video. Hope you guys like this live chat. If you guys have ideas of what you'd want me to talk about in the future, put a comment in this live stream, or put a comment, send me a message on my channel. I'm wanting to bring guests into my live streams this year, but I still haven't figured out the format yet. I don't know if it's going to be when Nacho was here. I did kind of an interview with him on my GoPro Max, and so I might do something like that where I have a list of questions that I send out to my guests, and have them answer the questions, and we get to meet each other in the community and promote each other's channels and all that kind of stuff. So Brent Newman says, oh, Nacho said like and subscribe. Please do if you haven't already. Brent Newman said drones, 360, puppies, grilling, Autel, Satan, Red, etc. Great one. We talked about some stuff, didn't we? So yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful week. I notice when I go back here, I get all red. Did you guys see that? And then when I come up here, it kind of whitens it out. Actually, so I need to be up here, and that's how I get blurry backgrounds. Interesting. Okay. Have a good night, guys. I'm going to sign out. I was up until 3 o'clock this morning refreshing the Insta360 website so I could buy that camera as soon as it was available. And Fishing for Success says XC10 review. I don't know which one's my XC10 anymore. It's been so long. You got it, Fishing. If I still have that camera, I'll do a review on it. So, yep. Thanks for hanging out. Fishing, I loved the energy that you brought to the chat tonight. I hope you come back. And thanks to all the people that have come all the time. You guys are the reason that I do what I do. So, I'm going to sign out. But have a wonderful night, guys. Peace out. Nacho sent me a notification. It's covering up my turn the live stream off.